Hello there, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again on Talk and Fight, where we discuss today's headlines and those stories that have made the news, courtesy of our friends across the pond at boxing247.com. And thank you once again, Christian, for all the help in getting hold of these stories for us and presenting them to us, which, by the way, are also available on your website. If you need more information, please go to it. And there's much more detail than what I'm about to give you. Let's start off with a quick little story that I had to actually Google to get more information from. Union Boxing won the purse bid to promote the mandatory bout between the World Boxing Association flyweight champ Artem Talkin from Ukraine and Panamanian challenger Luis Nica Concepcion. I myself had to wonder who the heck were Union Boxing. Anyway, so let's read on to the next sentence and you'll understand why. The bidding took place this Monday, September 27th. That's a few days ago. And Union Boxing offered the highest figure with a whopping $301,000 US to win the rights to promote the 112-pound bout. The promoter gave three possible dates for the fight: November 13th, November 20th, and November 27th, all based in Kiev in the Ukraine. The purse will have a 55 split for the champ, and 45% will go to the challenger, that being Concepcion. So I had a quick little Google, found another great little story just to give me a bit of more perspective. This is out of boxingscene.com. Union Boxing will promote the WBA World Flyweight title fight between reigning champ Talkin and mandatory challenger Concepcion. Dmitry Ilisiev and Yuri Ruban, co-founders of Union Boxing, claimed the rights to the fight after submitting their $201,000 bid during a hearing held Monday on Zoom. Okay, the amount far outpaced the second highest bid of $171,010. $171,010 provided by Jose Mohan of D4G Promotions, who sought to stage the event in Concepcion's hometown of Panama City, Panama. So there you go. You've got quite a few people around the world wanting to promote fights and spend a lot of money to do so, which brings me to our next couple of stories as we go around the world. Mexican prospect David Picasso won a comprehensive victory this past weekend while we were all paying attention to the Joshua Usyk fight, topping the bill of an event presented by Zamfir and Max Boxing this past Saturday at Deportivo La Alhambra Rica in Merida, Yucatan, Mexico. And if ever you've been to Mexico, if you've ever been to Yucatan, Merida is a wonderful city to go visit. Very classy. Picasso, who's 18-1 with 7 knockouts, utilized his ample resources with great rhythm to achieve a clear and well-worked unanimous decision over the tough and durable Alfredo Rambo King Meja, who's 15-4-3 with 6 knockouts in a 10-round super bantamweight contest. Elsewhere, over in Madrid, former world champion Sergio Maravilla Martinez from Argentina returned to the ring at age 46 to defeat the Englishman Brian Rose by unanimous decision in the main fight at the Plaza de Toros de Valdemoro in Madrid. Again, this was this past Saturday night when we were all paying attention to Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk. A 10-round fight at 160 pounds won by Maravilla Martinez with judges' scorecards 96-94, 96-94, and 97-94. The fight was keenly contested. The Argentine boxer, born in Quilmes and living in Madrid, weathered a bad moment in the second round, but he recovered and imposed his greatest experience. Martinez dropped Rose in the 8th round, but the British boxer quickly got to his feet. Martinez, who was the promoter of the card with his company Maravilla Box Promotions, improved his record to 54-3-2 with 30 knockouts. Elsewhere around the world, we're going to drop in drop into Hamburg, Germany. This past Saturday at Universum Gymnasium in Hamburg, the Armenian Artem Haratunyan 11-0 with 7 knockouts, knocked out Spanish Samuel Molina, who's 16-1 with 7 knockouts in the 5th round to win the lightweight International World Boxing Council title. The Spaniard was having a good fight and seemed to be dominating, but just when the German was in a tight spot, a left hook to the chin from him at 2 minutes and 31 seconds into the 5th knocked out Molina. I quote him. I knew that my opponent was young, wild, and motivated, and he wanted to give everything to defeat me. I was able to counter him and finish the fight. I'm very happy and excited to win the WBC international title, said Haratunyan, who won a bronze medal at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics. Good for him, and let's see what else happens over there. Now, going around the world, let's land back in Britain. There were some fantastic wins for several MTK Global fighters this past weekend. At the Corn Exchange in Bedford, England, the English light heavyweight champion Dan Aziz was involved in a 6-rounder, a non-title bout, going up against Ivo Zednicek. It was a dominant win for Aziz, who's now 14-0. With 9 knockouts, stopping Zednicek in round 2 as he prepares for his upcoming British light flyweight title fight against Hosea Burton. Elsewhere on the card, Mohamed Samir, who's now 3-0 with 1 knockout, earned the 3rd win of his professional career, defeating Kristaps Zulgas 40-36 on points after 4 rounds. In other news, the Tongan Tyson, Hemi Ohio, will use his big showdown at the first ever Amir Khan Crypto Fight Night in Dubai on 16th of October to show he's a real fighting deal. The undefeated Ohio, who's 17-0 with 12 knockouts, who has 10 knockouts inside the first 2 rounds, faces Dubai's own knockout sensation, Muhammad Ali Bayat Farid. It'll be an explosive heavyweight collision, as he has a record of 17-2-1 with 17 knockouts for the vacant WBC Asia Heavyweight Championship. The aggressive New Zealand crowd pleading board to Tongan parents carries power and hand speed that has drawn comparison to the legendary Mike Tyson. All funds generated at the A-list event, where the world's top crypto investors settle their differences, will be donated to humanitarian work undertaken by the Amir Khan Foundation. That sounds like a really good event. Right. On to other up-and-coming companies. Split T Management hits the headlines again. They've announced the signing of 2021 United States Olympian Tiger Johnson. Johnson is 23 years old and fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio, will compete as a welterweight in the professional ranks. Signing with Split T Management is a dream come true. I have a great relationship with Dave McWater. He's the CEO of Split T. He has seen me fight as a youth and has followed my amateur career very closely. I'm very comfortable with Dave and his team because he has taught me a lot about life outside the ring and has given me great advice. Being that comfortable has helped me in the ring, said Johnson. And McWater, for his part, said, Tiger is just such a special kid. I first saw him in Reno in January 2016, and I immediately knew that he was going to be a star. I'm excited to be part of his journey. So good luck to Split T and Mr. Johnson. In other news, I love talking about fighters who talk. So here we go. Headline, Jason Cunningham to Brad Foster. He will be taken into deep waters. Jason Cunningham has warned Brad Foster that he'll be taken into deep waters in their triple title showdown next month. It will take place in Birmingham in England. Cunningham will be risking his European Super Bantamweight Championship, while Foster, who's 14-0-2 with 5 knockouts, will defend his British and Commonwealth titles in their 12-rounder at the Utilita Arena in Birmingham on Saturday, October 9th. We also know what's happening on October 9th. Battle-hardened Cunningham, 29-6 with 6 knockouts, caused a big upset when he took the European crowd crown from Gamal Yafai in May, winning on points. The Doncaster man knocked down Yafai 3 times and says, quote, there are plenty of positives about Brad, but if there's one thing that I've got over him, it's definitely experience. I just believe that this is my time, and it might be a bit soon for Brad. I believe I'm going to continue where I left off from Gamal Yafai. I haven't seen Brad in deep waters, so we don't know what he's like when it comes for a proper gut check. There's no doubt that I am his hardest test to date, without a shadow of doubt, and we'll see what Brad is all about. In other news akin to fighters talking about themselves, Irish champion Craig O'Brien says, I am ready to fight Samuel Noma. Irish super welterweight champion Craig O'Brien, who's 12-2 with 1 knockout, will fight talented Samuel Noma, who's 15-0 with 4 victories inside the distance on the 8-round distance of Milano Boxing Night, promoted by Opie Since. 82 Matchroom DAZN at Alliance Cloud in Milan. That's a whopper. On October 1st, which will be streamed live and on demand by DAZN. Pro since 2015, 31-year-old Craig the Iron O'Brien trains at Celtic Warriors Gym in Dublin with coach Packy Collins. And in his last 2 fights, O'Brien lost on points to British Kieran Conway and then won on points by split decision against Polish Daniel Przewitslik, whom he should have really beaten easily. Beating Samuel Noma in a convincing way is essential to O'Brien, who's pro since 2016. 24-year-old Samuel Noma built his career in Milan, fighting 7 times at Principe Theatre, once at Super Studio Pew, and twice at Alliance Cloud. The question was asked of Craig, when would you know that you'd have to fight Samuel? 6 weeks ago, my manager told me that I'd have to fight on October 1st in Milan, but against another opponent. And shortly after that, the opponent was changed. I don't know Samuel Noma. I don't know him now because I don't like to watch videos of my opponents. What counts is that I feel good, and therefore I'm sure to win. Question, how much do you train? Answer, twice a day, every day. My sparring partners are great, and this makes me feel even more confident to win. Question, do you consider yourself a boxer or a fighter? I am a boxer who accepts the brawl. I don't put myself in one category because I can do both things, and you'll see on October 1st. There we go. Another Irishman telling us that he can win. Rylan Charlton says, I'm going to take over this lightweight division. Rylan Charlton is relishing his drop down in weight to 135 pounds and says fans can expect to see the best version of him at his own weight when he meets undefeated Tony Bellew-managed southpaw Luke Willis on the huge Smith versus Fowler card at the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool on Saturday, October 9th. Again, that is going to be a busy night. Charlton, who's 6-1-1 with 3 knockouts, demonstrated his point-sized power when he made easy work of Joe Laws in October 2020, sending the Benwell welterweight prospect crashing to the canvas 3 times en route to a brutal 3rd round knockout in Peterborough. Charlton displayed his power once again when he dropped Florian Marcu to the canvas in round 6 of his 8-round TKO loss to the Albanian King earlier this year at the SSE Arena in Wembley, a loss that prompted the 29-year-old Norfolk puncher to drop down 2 weight divisions. He says, I gave it a go at welterweight, and they're far too big for me, said Charlton. Marcu proved that. He was a strong welterweight. My power is one of my strongest assets, so if you take that away from me against some of the bigger boys, then it's just not great for me. We'll see how effective I am right now, dropping down to lightweight. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a good fight. Finally dropping down to lightweight is what I need to do. I tested at welterweight, far too big, but you've seen what I did at that weight. I'm going to take over this lightweight division. My power is going to be my big advantage in lightweight division, and you'll see me really come onto my own. He goes on to give a couple of other juicy quotes. I'll leave that up to you to go visit the boxing247.com website. As for me, that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Cheers.